In making Need for Speed, Shift, Slightly Mad Studios has tossed aside all of the clumsy action game movie elements that mucked up previous installments and focused on making a pure racer. The result is a game enjoyable to the hardcore and the casual racing fans alike. In case EA's previous attempts of Undercover Carbon or Pro Street scared you off, let me reiterate, there is no live action cutscenes. You're not racing to earn street cred, gather evidence on some illegal drug trade, or to get revenge on the criminal who, well, you get the point. You're a racer who races so he can earn money and get invited to more prestigious races where he'll earn even more money. Also gone is the open world environment and the street racing from earlier Need for Speed games. You're racing on closed tracks, most of them in European or American countryside, and almost all of the tracks are based on real world locations. There is a handful of fictitious locations to add some variety, but you won't be racing on the surface of the moon or anything too exotic. The scenery all looks decent and the spectators are a little less cardboard than in other racers. But your eyes are going to be on the road the whole time, so you probably won't care. Well, okay, there's one more thing you might spend more time admiring, and that's your cockpit. Slightly Mad has recreated the cockpits of all the cars in the game so you can race from a first person perspective. This is a default camera setting, and while you may find the third person camera to be more comfortable, I urge you to give the cockpit a shot. Your vision narrows as you speed up, and your perspective rocks back and forth as you hit bumps, make sharp turns, or slam on the brakes. Hitting a wall causes you to lurch in your seat and blurs your vision momentarily, and while you'll experience some of the game's visual effects with the other camera perspectives, the cockpit view is coloured by so many subtle touches that it's worth at least toying with a bit. Though Need for Speed Shift is billed as a simulation racer, the game isn't merely for racing game veterans. Once you start career mode, Shift will provide suggested settings based on how well you perform in the test lap. You can turn down the AI's difficulty, make gear shifting automatic, and get a little help with handling and so on. Many players will also make use of the optional driving line, a colour guideline that appears on the track to show you the correct path. This turns yellow when you need to slow down, and red when you really need to slow down, and it's a must for learning to navigate the turns. The structure for Shift's career mode is a familiar one. You start on a tier with fairly easy tracks and so-so cars, and gradually work your way up to more competitive tiers with faster cars and longer, tougher courses. The way to unlock the next tier is by getting stars, which can be earned in a few ways. You'll get 1 to 3 stars by finishing first, second or third in a race, but there are bonus goals that you can earn you a star, such as driving 5 cars off the road throughout the event. Subsequently, you can make progress towards the next tier even if you're not getting podium finishes. One other method of earning stars that I didn't mention is racking up points throughout the race. Points can be doled out for successful turns, overtaking other cars and so forth. And each action is rewarded by points, which is split into 2 categories, aggressive and precision. Precision drivers are clean and cautious, while aggressive drivers try to run opponents off the road, slide through turns at full speed and tailgate unknown cars. The game keeps a tally of how many points you have in each category, and you're branded either an aggressive or a precision driver based on which category has a higher point total. The points boost your driver level over time, and each level adds invitationals, sponsorship money, extra garage space and other perks to assist your climb to the top of the racing world. The game also gives you badges for your various mini achievements throughout your career. In addition to manufactured competitions, the career mode is also stocked with a bunch of time attacks and standard mixed races. Car battles make a return as well, and you and a single opponent are given pre-selected cars, and you have to try and either finish the race in the lead or get 5 seconds ahead of your opponent. Precision drivers are allowed to do hot laps, while aggressives get eliminator races that periodically remove the last place driver until only one remains. Finally, there's drift competitions in which you're graded on how well you slide through turns. You're awarded points based on the angle and speed of your turns, as well as how close you get to the car's nose to the inner edge of the corner. Drifting takes a lot of random failing and experimentation to master though, but as I said, you don't need to do every event to pass through tiers, so you're free to skip this glorified minigame. You can do all of these games through the game's multiplayer mode as well. You can race with up to 7 other players at a time, and races ran smoothly for me even at max capacity. The only real unique multiplayer mode is the Driver Duel Championship, a series of driver duels in which a group of players work their way up the ladder to more trying events with higher powered cars. You'll earn money for a multiplayer event at a seemingly greater rate than offline events, so there's some definite incentive to hop online. Even if you're playing normal career mode though, you can see your friends' best scores and lap times for each visit, I know damn well that I'm never going to be the best in the world on any given track, but hey, at least I could beat my mates' times. With Gran Turismo 5 and Forza Motorsport 3 both coming out this year too, I don't doubt some of you PS3 and Xbox 360 owners will bypass this game in anticipation of the other ones, but Shift really shouldn't be overlooked. It's a well executed game that provides enough realism for the racing purists, and with this game Slightly Mad's not only lifted the Need for Speed franchise out of a deep funk, but managed to create a viable competitor to some of the best games in the genre.